Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am with my stepmom once again, and we're going to be doing a lunch talk, I would say. So we are going to be talking about how things were different back when this one was younger, and how it's different today. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is electronics, like the phones, PS4, Switches, stuff like that. So we're going to start with the old one, and she's going to be talking about how things are different back then.
Okay. So, growing up, they did start having the cell phones, but they were like huge. It was like holding a brick. They were that big and bulky.
So they were like, yeah?
Yeah, they were like huge. And only, the people that have money usually had them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if those started out or it was car phones.
Call phone?
Car phones.
Oh, car phones. What are those?
They had the phones built into the cars.
Oh. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what came first. But I didn't get a cell phone until I was 18. And that was
I'm 16, I got a phone.
That was back in oh gosh, this was back in 98. I got a cell phone in 98. That's the first.
You old.
Yeah, but that's when I graduated college too. Is in 98.
I forgot you graduated college.
So for my gift that my mom got me, she went out and got me a cell phone.
How big was it? Was it like the ones we have now, or?
It was about the size of my phone, except it was wider. It was maybe that thick.
Oh wow!
So
it's like a mini brick. And
then it had an antenna. You pulled the antenna out.
Oh, I think I've seen those.
Yeah, it was. So that was my first cell phone, and back then you had to pay. There was no texting at that time. They hadn't had texting on the phone.
So it was only calling?
Yeah, it was only calling. And you had to pay for how many minutes you're on the phone. So you would get so many free minutes, but then afterwards you had to pay.
Was it like once a week?
Just anytime you used your phone.
Anytime?
Anytime you used your phone, you had to pay. And it's not like today where everything's unlimited.
Yeah.
And so I went to California. I drove to California. Me and my friend drove to California by ourselves for the first time. And I took the cell phone.
Which friend? Do I know her?
No. She's an old friend. Well, we're not friends anymore. But we drove to California and racked up. Well, she racked up because she had to keep calling her family a $300 phone bill. Just calling. Yeah, just calling.
$300?
$300.
Per minute?
No, it was all total.
Oh.
Because she kept calling her family, and she would stay on the phone for 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, girl, you got to get off that phone. They're charging me.
They're gonna charge us this amount if you don't get off.
Yeah, and then she had to keep calling her family. Why? I don't know. I think it's because it was the first time her going out of town by herself.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was.
That she's calling them to say, hey, this is how I'm doing.
Yeah, but she was and it was a $300 phone bill by the time. My mom's well, she better help pay for this. Well, we were 19, 20 at the time.
Keep talking, I can hear you. I just got that ache out.
So, yeah, we didn't have the unlimited thing back then. Back then we had pagers.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me about that. Wasn't it that phone book?
No. That's the yellow pages.
Oh, then what were you talking about?
Pagers or beepers. They're these little, I think they still, the doctors. I think the doctors today still use them. But it's like anytime anybody need to call you, they would page you. Your pager had a number. You call the number, and you would type in the number that they need to call you back on. So when that happened, the pager would go off. It's a beeper. It would just be like beep 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 beep.
That is interesting.
Yeah. That was one of the big things back then. Is like if you got a pager and somebody paged you, then you thought that you were like hot stuff.
So if you had that, you're like, oh yeah, I'm cool.
Print, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I think it wasn't like on and everything, but my first phone was like, I wouldn't say the flip phone. It was the phone you turn to the side, you slide it down, and the keyboard's right there. The slider phone.
The Sidekick?
Yeah, that. I know it starts with an S, but I keep forgetting. The Sidekick.
Who got you a Sidekick?
It wasn't on though. It was like a turned off one that was constantly off.
Was that your mom's?
I think it was Mom's old one when she shut it off.
Because I was going to say, I never got that.
Yeah, no.
I had one of those too. Yeah. I had a Sidekick back in the day.
See, like this was when we were back at our other house. Mario had gotten, I think it was either a Sidekick or the flip phone, like for his first phone.
It was a flip phone.
A flip phone. I don't know if it was Mom or him who gave me the Sidekick.
It must have been your mom because...
Yeah, because back then my imagination was wild. I would use everything and anything to play with.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I would use it. I would pretend like I was on a call, pretend like I was texting or something, because, like, that's how I was. I was an imaginative child. So, like, I would constantly go around, and I think I even brought it to school once, like, in my backpack. Like, I would pretend to go to my friends, be like, yeah, no, yeah, that's so fun. Hold on when I'm on call. Yeah, and I would do that to my friend in first grade. I would go to my friends and be like, oh yeah, no, sorry, hold on, I'm on a call. Yeah, do that. Yeah, because if we do that, the price is gonna go up. And like, I would pretend I was in a whole business meeting call or something like that, just to prove I'm better than my friends. But like, I think that was my first phone, and then my first actual phone that was working was the one you gave me when we took a trip to New York.
Well, yeah, when your mom took you.
Yeah, that's a story for another time. But that was my first actual phone, and then after that, I constantly broke them. So like, it wouldn't even last a month, and then it would have a crack on it.
Because you drop it.
I would drop them all the time. So the phone I have now, I paid for, kind of. Mm-hmm. It's on their phone bill or their billing, but I paid for it. Because they said, hey, you pay, not us. So I paid for the phone.
Why though?
Because I constantly kept breaking mine and they kept paying for my phones. So I saved up enough money, surprisingly, and I bought myself a phone. So that's my phone. And it's just thin too. The only reason why mine's like blocky is because of my casing. This right here is pretty much the size of my phone. It's empty right now, but that's my casing for my phone. So
and back when I was growing up, we had like video games, but like nothing like today. Like my mom first bought me a Nintendo when I was like 10. Mm-hmm. But before that, you had like Atari, and everybody knows what an Atari is, or if you don't, then I don't know.
What is an Atari? You're talking to a...
It was like one of the first game systems that came out.
Really?
And like the remote controls were like, it was like a box and like a stick. And you had to use that stick
okay. I know what it is.
Yeah, so that was the Atari. And I think after Atari was Sega.
I remember Sega.
Sega came out. But like, I was 10 years old when my mom first got me the Nintendo, and before that was like, our entertainment was going outside, playing, watching TV, and grant you, TV back then you only had like 10 channels.
Yeah, I know that.
And or you had like a radio or something. That was our form of entertainment. Or, you played with your toys or, whatever you had, or, go hang out with your friends. It's not like today where you guys are like all in your rooms, on your phones, watching YouTube or Netflix, because we had none of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if we wanted to watch a movie, it was like VHS tapes.
Yeah, I remember that. We used to watch a bunch of like VS tapes along with the dinosaur ones. Mm-hmm. The dinosaur that's now on Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. I would say that those are like my all-time favorite to watch on the VHS.
Yep.
Come on, you.
So that was our growing up, and even when we were teenagers, like I think by then, like I think I'd broken my Nintendo, so I didn't have Nintendo no more. But even as teenagers, like we didn't have phones.
Yeah. We
didn't have the internet. Well,
I mean, kind of, right?
We kind of had internet, but usually it was only like through the schools or like if you had a job that required it.
Yeah.
My mom got her first computer like I was in my 20s is when she first got the computer and first got internet. Internet was expensive because internet you had to pay like as long as whatever you were online for is what you had to pay for.
Yeah.
It's not like it was unlimited like it is today. I mean, if you wanted to find something or look something up, you went to a library
and would you
got an encyclopedia or books. That was how you search stuff.
Yeah. Was like the dictionaries or like...
Well, if you need to look up a word, yeah, dictionary or the meaning of something, dictionary. But if anything... Hey! Cut. Dog.
It's
but anyways...
Our dog lady.
So, I mean, if you wanted... You had to do research on something, you had to go to the library. Mm-hmm. You had to look it up in books. There was no Google. There was no nothing. And when internet first came out, I remember we had AOL.
AOL?
AOL. It was called AOL.
The internet?
Like, yeah. It was called American Online something. I don't remember. But we had AOL. Everything started out with like AOL.
That's
Facebook,
weird.
We didn't have Facebook. At that time, we had MySpace. MySpace was one of the first ones that came out. That was
like social media?
Mm-hmm.
See,
and that was a lot harder to do. Well, I kind of liked MySpace though too, because you got to decorate your page. But the only thing with that is to decorate your page, you had to go in and put in like these different codes. And the different codes is like they had like different like pictures and stuff that you could put on.
Yeah.
But you had to copy and paste the code for that picture or that sticker.
So it was just like a constant like coding kind of thing?
Yeah.
Sucks to be you. Because the way we do it now, we could just, I think if you're like taking a picture from Google on your phone, all you gotta do is like screenshot it, like crop it to where you want it. And then like you can, if it gives you the option, you just like click on what you want to have it on. And then you can select from photos, Google, whatnot.
Yeah, I know this. But back then it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy at all.
I mean... Okay, so I don't know if it was on TikToks or YouTube Shorts. I don't remember where I watched it, but like I saw like a bunch of people like saying like, "Oh, do you remember when MySpace was a thing?" Yada yada yada. I'm just like, what is MySpace? Mm-hmm. Like, what is it? And then I find out it was the older version of like Facebook, and I'm just like, why did they call it MySpace? So.
It's just whoever created it, that's what they called it.
I mean, with us now, it's like...
And that was how, like, you got in touch with, like, other people. Like, if they didn't have a phone or something, MySpace.
I mean,
well, just kind of like with Facebook. With Facebook, you can do that, but Facebook also has Messenger. So
that's true. It does.
But back then, they didn't have none of that. Lady, quiet.
She wants to be part of it.
But yeah, I mean, we didn't. And then, if you wanted to, there was no texting. We didn't have texting. You want to get a hold of somebody, you either called them or wrote a letter. That was the only pretty much forms of communication you had with somebody. You called them on the phone or you wrote them a letter.
That's what I did because I don't know if it was a time where I got in trouble and I lost my phone or I had broken my phone and I went without a phone. But I wrote my friends, I think you helped me with this because you're the one that gave me the idea. I wrote like letters to my friends. She provided the envelopes and stamps, so I would place them in my mailbox, and like I would send them letters like weekly. Mm-hmm. And later at school, they would say, "Hey, I got your letter. You know, like this and this and this." And if I had like a question for them, like after school or something, and I didn't want to wait till the next day, I would send it to them, and they wouldn't respond till like later on because I would constantly forget it. So I'd rather send it to them so I don't forget, mm-hmm. instead of just forgetting the next day and forgetting about it completely. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did, was I sent letters to them if I lost my phone. Because I couldn't text them or call them if I didn't have my phone.
Right.
And at the time, I didn't have my school computer like I did now that has Teams. Mm-hmm. And Google Meet didn't exactly work on there unless it was actually assigned by a teacher. So.
Yep, we didn't have none of that going in school.
We got it lucky.
And if we wanted to talk to each other in school, we would write each other a letter during class and then pass it when we were going on our breaks.
Really?
We would meet each other and we would switch our notes. So, and then.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about in school, like, I'll only do this, like, if I'm allowed. Like, if they say, yeah, you can take out your phones once you're done, you can do what you want. Like, mm-hmm. I would say, yeah, okay. Because my friends are usually spamming my phone during class. Like, hey, are you there? What you doing? What class are you in? You know, what hour are you in?
That. Nope. We had to write letter notes and be like, hey, and especially if you have, like, the same class as your friend, but, like, a different period. Mm-hmm. Whoever went to that class first, like, hey, this is what's going on in this class. This is what they're doing. And then when you guys went to go switch classes, you meet up for like a minute because you have like 10 minutes in between.
You have 10 minutes? I have 5.
Yeah, they gave us like 10 minutes in between so we would be able to switch our classes and get, to class on time. But yeah, and then we would like meet up for like a couple minutes and switch letters and then go on our merry way.
Well,
that was how we communicated through school. And a lot of times, we didn't have like the same like lunch hours as each other.
Yeah.
We had.
That's how me and a couple other friends, because I have B lunch, they have A lunch. Mm-hmm.
We have B and A lunch.
Yeah, and then
Thank you. I feel much better now.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it? Oh, what was I gonna say? So for like the time limit, like between classes, like the transition, mm-hmm. it's only 5 minutes. Like I have to go from Spanish, which is on one side of the campus, and then I have to go to dance, which is on the whole other side, like the front. So like I'm at the back of the school for Spanish, and then I'm at the front of the school. Because it's not like a together school, it's separated. Like they're in the outside, there's no buildings. The only hallway in there is the math building. That's the only math building. Math building is the only hallway in that entire school. If you're talking about like hallways, obviously there's the office and the lecture hall. But the actual class hallways is the math building, which I get because I'm lucky because I'm in there 2 years in a row.
And see, we were lucky too because if we got good grades and we kept our grades up, we got to leave campus on lunch.
That's like, I think I told you about this, but they have like drawings at the end of the month, like mm-hmm. with those Lobo card things. Mm-hmm. And one of the things is if you draw, if they like pick your name, I think that's like one of the things that you can do. Either that, or if you do something around the campus that's along like the rules, like you're helping someone to being responsible, like all that, then I think it's one of the teachers can go out and get you and or your friends something to eat off of campus rather than having the school lunch.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember how you get that. I just know that they have that as like a reward option.
Yeah, as long as we kept our grades up, we had an ID, and your ID had to be, I think it had to be gold or yellow to get off campus, because once you left, you had to show security that you're let off campus.
Yeah.
And I think the people that are regular, I think their ID cards were white. Yeah, mine was like gold or yellow. So because I kept my grades up, I was able to go off campus for lunch.
Yeah.
And of course, when I went to school, I went to Tolleson. So then we had like Sonic right across the street. Subway was across the street. And then a little ways down was Pete's Fish and Chips.
Yes.
So, and we got like 35, 40 minutes for lunch. So.
See, for us on a normal day, lunch is it's like 30 minutes for us, 11:25 to 11:55.
Yeah.
So that's like 30 minutes.
But you better get your butt back before that bell rang for lunch, because if not, they'd mark you late and you'd have to go through the office and get like the tardy slip.
And wouldn't that be like considered like ditching?
No, you'd be ditching if you didn't show back up. So
That's true.
So that's as much for as far as electronics.
We just went from electronics to school to this to that. I don't know, like, before we recorded this, we were talking, okay, what's topic number 1? Electronics. Okay. Topic number 2. What was topic number 2?
We're going to save that for another video.
Alright, there we go. We'll save it. Alright, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like this, please like and subscribe and comment down below what you want us to see. Or, not see. What you guys want us to do or talk about. What you guys want us to talk about. And we'll have that as a video. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, bye.